You know, we all think of our homes as this safe, comfortable sanctuary, right? But what you might not realize is that behind the scenes, there's a constant war being waged for your comfort. Today, we're going to use one town as our case study to really understand this hidden battle that's happening inside your walls, maybe even right now.
It's the question that haunts every single homeowner. You wake up, it's freezing, you can see your breath in the air, and you realize the furnace has just given up. So is it just awful luck? Some kind of cosmic joke? Well, the answer is way more interesting than that. Here's the thing. That failure wasn't random at all. It was the final straw in a long, brutal fight between the machine that's supposed to keep you comfortable and the relentless forces of the environment that are trying to break it down.
Okay, so to see this battle up close, we're going to zoom right in on Grandview, Missouri, and let me tell you, this is a place where the climate does not mess around. I mean, look at this. In Grandview, the opposition is just extreme. The HVAC systems there have to be masters of two completely different jobs. In the summer, they're fighting off 100-degree heat and that absolutely crushing humidity. Then, just a few months later, they're the only thing standing between you and sub-zero temperatures. That is a huge amount of stress to put on one single machine.
And get this, it's not even just about the hot and the cold. The local environment brings a whole army of other attackers. You've got high humidity, which breeds mold and actually corrodes metal. The region's got this expanding clay soil that can shift a home's foundation, literally pulling ductwork apart. Then there are the spring storms that can knock out electrical components. It's like a war on multiple fronts, all at once.
You know, this quote from our source material, it absolutely hits the nail on the head. We've got to stop thinking of our HVAC system as just another simple appliance. We need to see it for what it really is, a frontline soldier in a constant, grinding battle against the elements. So what happens when this soldier gets overwhelmed? Well, these systems have some pretty common ways of telling you they're losing the fight. This is the one we all dread, right? The classic winter catastrophe. You're expecting a nice wave of warmth, and instead you get blasted with icy air. This isn't just an inconvenience. It can be a sign of something like a failed igniter, or even worse, a cracked heat exchanger, which is a super serious safety risk. We're talking about carbon monoxide leaks. And then you've got its evil summer twin. It's the hottest day of the year, and your AC is just pushing hot, sticky air around. This is often a sign of a refrigerant leak or maybe a failed compressor. That's the heart of the entire cooling system. Basically, the battle against that brutal heat wave, it's been lost, and you're the one suffering. Okay, now you gotta listen up for this next one. Those grinding, squealing, or banging sounds, they are not your house just settling. Those are warning shots, plain and simple. These noises are telling you that mechanical parts, like bearings or motors, are wearing out and they're on the verge of a catastrophic failure. Ignoring those sounds, it's literally like ignoring sirens telling you to get out of the way. And then there's this silent killer, of your wallet anyway. Your energy bill suddenly skyrockets, but you feel less comfortable than ever. That means your system is working way overtime, just burning through energy to try and keep up. It's just tired, you know? It's exhausted, inefficient, and it's on a collision course with a total breakdown. All right, so the worst has happened. Your system's failing. Now you've got a really critical decision to make. What do you do? Basically, you've got three main strategies on the table. First up, the emergency repair. This is basically the HVAC emergency room. The system is down, it's a crisis, and the only goal is to get it back online, fast. A technician comes in, finds the critical failure, a broken motor, a frozen coil, whatever, and performs immediate surgery to get our heat or AC back on. Okay, but then there's the much smarter, proactive strategy, preventative maintenance. Really, you should think of this as, well, regular training or checkups for your system. Seasonal tune-ups, one in the spring for the AC, one in the fall for the furnace. Let the experts clean everything up, check all the components, and spot those tiny little issues before they cause that midnight failure we all dread. And last but not least, there's a full-on replacement. Look, at a certain point, usually after about 15 years, or when those repair costs just keep piling up, it stops making financial sense to keep throwing money at an old, worn-out system. A new replacement is a long-term investment in reliability and efficiency, and it often pays for itself in lower energy bills. So we've been zeroing in on Grandview, but the lessons here, they're totally universal. Every single home out there is fighting its own unique environmental war. So let's look at what you should take away from all this. So, here's what this all boils down to for you, right now. First, start by understanding what your home is really up against. Is it humidity, extreme heat, big temperature swings? Then, get to know your system. How old is it? What's its repair history like? Most importantly, be proactive and schedule that maintenance. It is the single best way to avoid an emergency. And finally, just listen to your system. Those weird noises and high bills are cries for help.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? You now know that your comfort isn't just a given. It's something that's won in a daily battle. So the real question is, what specific secret battle is your home fighting right now? And more importantly, are you equipped to win?